I don't blame her. Hello, welcome along once again to Bangkok Chit Chat with Andrew Sloan and myself, Andy Francis. Today, here we go. A day doesn't go by without us mentioning that TM30.
Oh, God.
It's everywhere.
It's like a swear word, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's very hard, you know, like we record this show and it goes out a week later, but in that week, things are coming out twice a day of this has changed or there's an example. So it's really hard to keep up to the moments, but on our Facebook I'll try and put the latest stuff on it.
Yeah, we've also got a TM30 interview with a lawyer, which will give you a lot of the information. I get different messages coming through. What about this? What about that? It is actually all explained.
Yeah, what's it called? It's a spotlight, right? It's a chit-chat spotlight.
Interview.
Yeah,
with the guy from
TM30 with the lawyer. Yeah, and we got one about marriage coming up very soon.
That's
I
right.
hope. All about dowries and prenups and postnups and
what you should be considering when you get married.
Yeah.
On assisting both parties.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Man or woman.
At Thai and Phalang. Yeah.
I was going to say something else, but I won't. BBC rips into TM30. This article's done by BBC website journalist George Stylus. Thailand has long been an attractive destination for Western expats, where money goes further and can buy a good quality of life. Used to be. But the revival of an arcane immigration law has angered the expat community and got them questioning their freedoms in Thailand. And here's an example. This is from someone here. It says, I've been made to feel as if I'm not welcome here anymore, says Zarika Gardner, who's a 25-year-old English teacher from America. Since arriving in Thailand last April, she has racked up immigration fines totaling 12,400 baht. That's about £330 sterling. A large part of that is because her apartment manager failed to promptly file a form saying where she was staying. Thailand's Immigration Act contains a clause requiring all foreigners to let the authorities know where they're staying at all times. Previously, this job has been done by hotels collecting the guests' details, or it was basically just ignored. But as of last March, the government has been applying the law without compromise or exception.
Right.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
They say this new law, it's not. It's been around since 1979.
Correct.
Bangkok has not, and major areas have not really been applying it. And funnily enough, when we were with
Talk Back Thailand with our guys. Hello, Mike, by the way. Hello, Steve.
This came up, and one of the guys actually showed a piece of paper from up country, and he does this as normal practice, but to a police station.
Yeah, I know. I lost this a bit now.
So the police station, basically, I won't go into the detail because watch the other video and you'll get all that. But basically, if your province does not have an immigration office, you can report to a police station.
I get it, all right? I mean, I don't want to keep going, but it was all about me. I have permanent residence, but I have a little book that goes along with the book that shows me I'm a permanent resident. It's a red book. I have to go to the police station for that. And when I was given it 15 years ago, they said...
for what? Not to do with
it's like my ID. No, it's a Thai
okay.
ID. But it's a police station involved with immigration.
Right.
It's an immigration issue where the police deal with.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. There's a similarity.
Okay.
So, all right, now, I'm maybe going over some old ground, so interrupt me or put in anything that I've left out.
Yeah.
Landlords must notify immigration authorities whenever a foreigner returns home after spending more than 24 hours away from their permanent residence, be it a trip abroad or even leaving the province. The same applies to foreigners married to Thais. Their Thai spouse, if they own the house, must file the report. So your wife must be, or girlfriend, or whatever.
Okay, so another contentious issue is if you are staying in your house with your wife or whatever it is, and you go and stay with a friend in the same province, officially you're supposed to report. Right? So you report that person who you go and stay with, they're supposed to report. When you come home, your wife or the landlord's supposed to report. But in reality, it's going to be difficult to know anyone unless somebody reports you. Yeah?
Can I ask a question?
But certainly, if you go to a hotel, you've got something they've stamped. You're staying.
Oh,
here.
you're done.
You got to say you got to come back.
But here's the thing. So, all right, I'll use the example. My brother's coming over. so my wife has to do it. Does she do it before they come over or when they're over?
When they're over.
But
And
you only have 24 hours?
24 hours.
So they arrive...
So if they arrive on a Friday...
At, say, 8 o'clock in the evening?
You're allowed to do it on Monday, because Saturday, Sunday is not classes working.
So you either go to the immigration and fill in the form, or you can do it online, or there's an app now. And
Correct.
I've heard now one of these latest stories, the app's working much better than it did. There's some guy been waiting 2 weeks for his password, which makes a mockery of 24 hours to report, right?
So just to give a little bit, a friend of mine just went there.
Oh yeah,
the other
do that
day,
one, yeah.
And he went in and he went to get his number to report the TM30. His wife reported or went to another desk just as you in Chang Wattana, just to the right of where you collect your ticket, and did the registration, etc. It took 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Was there a lot of people there?
No, there wasn't. And this is probably at 1 o'clock, in the afternoon.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So it took 10 minutes. Now, then he had to do the TM30 report, and that process was very quick as well. And they helped set up the app. Yeah. Now, what we're hearing is that if you have a British telephone, if you're in Thailand,
telephone? What's a telephone?
A telephone number or something like that. Yeah. Well, because well,
You mean a house telephone?
It has to be a Thai telephone, and they'll advise you to download this app. Yeah. I think it's called Section 38.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll do it for our next broadcast. See how we get on with it. Yeah.
So
you need a Thai SIM card.
Things have actually improved, but what they said was that to download the app onto your computer that way and register there is going to take a long time. So they're actually improving the services there to do it. Now, as much as you dislike doing it, and I dislike it, the fact is that's a law.
You kept saying that with that lawyer guy. Every 5 minutes, going, it's the law. Which is true.
Have to do it until there is a change.
Or don't do it, and
don't get your visa extension.
Or you can gamble it.
Yeah.
And get away with it.
Yeah.
Or gamble it and not get away with it.
Yeah.
All right. So this person keeps going on about it's too much. The process has provoked. This is from the BBC. The process has provoked confusion and consternation across Thailand, prompting caustic cartoons from local newspapers and outrage on social media. So, I've seen some truly stupid things in Thailand in my 10 years plus here, but this is BS. It really tops it all. This has effectively killed my 2 to 10 day bike trips around the country. So he says, well, I drive around for 10 days, stopping here, stopping there, stopping everywhere. So at people's houses, Airbnb maybe, that don't have the TM30 form.
Well, there shouldn't be any Airbnb anyway.
Or he may have a tent.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really messed him up. If he wants to really go by the law, what does he do? He says 2 to 10 day bike trips where I go all around the country on my bike.
Well, if he's checking into hotels, they're doing it for him anyway.
Not. No, I'm saying no. I get the idea because I got a friend who does it. They camp. They go up to, into the, those national parks. It's a thing, isn't it? Another one, 2421 ABC says, great BBC picked up on this story. Hopefully other news outlets will report as well. This should be an embarrassment for Thailand if they ever want to be a modern international country. This kind of law only goes against it. That's what the BBC said. You think that's a bit harsh?
No, I don't think it is harsh. I think it is an archaic law. Yeah. I get the reasons why they're doing it, but I don't think it makes sense. So here's another example.
There's a good one here. Yeah. This one, Gratai. Read that one out. It's good.
Right, Gratai. I totally agree that TM30 is an outdated law. However, I have lived here in Thailand for 30 years and try to abide by all the rules, including this one. Every time I return home from a trip, she, I think it is wife, girlfriend, fills in the form, pops into immigration, and does not, and it's done so.
And it's done. So what is the massive problem?
Unless, of course, people have something to hide.
True. See.
Yeah. I mean, pop in. If you live in Sukhumvit 101, you have to pop into Chang Wattana.
Well, I know you should be able to go to the 7-Eleven to do it, right?
Oh, yeah. Why not? At the end of the day, it's all going into computer systems. Well, doesn't matter where the computer is.
7-Elevens are more like post offices
Banks
these
are
days.
using them now.
They're like a post office now. You can get stamps, you get electricity, water, but well, why not get your thing?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it comes to
7-Elevens,
organisations.
love it.
Now, some people say change the law. The law is going to take a year to process. Change the process. Then that can be done quicker.
Yeah, I think it should be lightning speed and only very easy that you can actually do on your cell phone as well.
Well,
not have to go to the computer.
That's why they built the app.
Can you fill the form in on the phone?
I think the issue is having your landlord do that.
Well, here's
and it's their responsibility. That is the problem.
Chip Butty says, I know, great. I know, must be from the UK. I now know a few Thai landlords are not interested in registering their properties, so the onus is on the Farang to do it. But why does the tenant have to do it? Should crack down on the owners.
Well, listen, someone's got to do it. Now, my point is nothing to do with who does it. Who is legally responsible for doing it? And if I do it on behalf of my landlord, am I breaking the law? And if I'm breaking the law, that could also affect me in my visa or whatever it is.
The fine, by the way, if you don't do it, is 1,600, and if the person doesn't pay the fine, you can't get your visa.
800 a day.
I thought it was
800, and it goes up to 2,000.
I thought it was a one for the landlord.
Yes.
And then if the landlord hasn't paid it, you can't get your visa out.
That's right. So the foreigner can pay it.
All right. I think that's more or less it, because we can talk about how on.
Right.
Here we go. He's got some footnotes.
Yeah. So a suggestion. This is from Stanley Kang, who's the president of the Joint Foreign Chambers of Commerce.
Okay.
He suggested that people with work permits, business visas, and retirement visas, and owners of apartments who are Farang, who have bought their apartment, should not be required to do this, because you're doing your 90-day rule.
Agreed. They know who you are and where you are.
And effectively, it affects the attractiveness of Thailand as a business location. And we've all heard, whether they've done it or not, some companies are just moving their head offices elsewhere because it's just a hassle. If you're a CEO, a lot of traveling every single week. If they have to go back to the landlord to do that, it's just not nonsensical, and it's just an extra pressure they've got. Now, this is not this TM30 situation is not happening anywhere in ASEAN except in Thailand. So, in addition to the people who are exempt, I would also say that if you have an O visa, you've got a yellow book, right, for that Tabian ban. I think that's also enough. You still have to do your 90-day reports, and what they don't mention here is you might have a B visa, but what about the family? If your family's here as part of your job.
Imagine there's 6 people visiting you.
Yeah. Well, I think visitors is one thing. I think, to be honest, I actually agree with that.
Do you have to do it 6 times?
No. You get with the form, you fill all the names of the form.
Oh, okay, all in one form.
Yeah.
All right.
So you get visitors who are let's say, semi-permanent. I think if you get visitors who are just on a tourist visa, I think that's fair enough. Yeah. Because that does stand up to things like. No, it does stand up to things like criminals or.
I think if you have a work permit, you shouldn't have to do this.
Not that any criminal's going to report, say, where they're staying.
But if you've got a work permit, I think you shouldn't have to do this. Because people with work permits, they're stable people here,
or a visa for the family if you're working here.
It's not easy to get a work permit. You have to do due diligence in that, loads of forms before you can do a work permit. So my last question to you is, because we've got one more little story before we say goodbye to you, and that is, all right, the app. Can you fill in all the information on your phone from the app, or do you have to go through a computer? You can.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
I think from the computer side going to the website, that's where they say people say they've had the issue.
Yeah. So
I know we've applied for our place, and still that is nearly 4 weeks now.
Right.
We still don't have the.
Right. Let's find out what this app is, and I'll download it, and we'll see. Because I can use it for my...
Section 38, I was told. Yeah.
All right, so there we go. TM30. 6 months ago, nobody knew what the hell it was. And now everybody and their dog does. Well, has the dog got a TM? Oh, yeah, does it apply to animals? My Alsatian.
Do they need a visa?
Yeah, paw print. Oh, don't. All right, one final story. Pictures coming up now. Well, not of... Well, I'll go on.
They do have the gerbil.
What about cockroaches? A person claiming to be a noodle vendor with lots of customers said that their shop was very popular because their dishes helped cure muscle aches and pains. The secret ingredient at the noodle vendor's urine. He pisses in his own bowls of noodles, apparently. The post was in response to pictures that were posted on the fan page Yak Dang Diao Yat Hai. Anyway, it was this. Go on then, you do better than me. From the Thailand news. That's Chinese.
That was pathetic.
Thailand newspaper. Anyway, the poster said that they had many customers, especially construction workers. They claimed that they secretly urinated in the broth to help with their customers' ailments and so they could carry on building. Now, you know what? What it was someone wrote that on there, another vendor down the road. See, this is the power of social media. In the old days, 50 years ago, you'd still have the two vendors, and he'd be doing his stuff, and the guy would be going, oh, he's got a lot of people. So when a few people came to you, you go, oh, I'm glad you've come don't go to him, he pisses in his vendor, like that. So by word of mouth, in the end, it would have the same effect as it. Trouble is, this guy hits about 5,000 people in one go.
If it's Thai Rath, they're going to go and verify their story, aren't they?
Well, I think it's not a joke piece, but there was obviously no smoke without fire, right? So there was a little bit of that going. And I do know people, no, I don't. I know of that some people do drink their own urine. It's supposed to be really good for you. It builds up an research it.
I could tell you a wee story about that.
No, don't not now. We've got enough time and I don't want to hear it. Apart from that, anyway, I thought it was a good story.
It is good, yes.
Okay, well...
It's not good at all, actually.
That was horrible, isn't it? I don't know why I did it.
In your soup.
Right, we're over time as normal. I'd just like to thank everyone that has subscribed to our channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps us in so many ways, the same as liking and sharing. If you like it, that all ticks up and Facebook and YouTube know it. And that gives us extra promotional stuff that they give to us. And sharing is brilliant because it's telling other people that we don't know about us.
Yeah, and so you can also go to Facebook, and if you're seeing us on Facebook, go to the link for our website, which is actually our YouTube channel at the present time. Click in there, and then you'll get notifications, because on Facebook you just flick through it and maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't.
And we're now on Twitter.
Yes, I was going to say that.
I forgot that on the last one. And it's ChitChat Now, right?
Yes.
It's just because that's how you find it.
Actually.
But you don't have to bother. And you don't have to bother with all that at Bangkok. All you got to do is on your Twitter with the little question, the magnifying glass thing for search, just put in ChitChat Now and it'll come up.
If there's anything you'd like us to discuss, let us know.
And that's more open. Yeah, that's not all about the show and stuff like our Facebook. Is that because there's loads of people writing in from, we got the Bangkok Post, we got Barrows on there, and Stick Boy and everything else. We got quite a few followers.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, we're following more than people are following us. But never mind. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bangkok. See you later.